Alright, video number 2 of the Carolina Skiff 2014 DLV 21.8. Going to start up towards the bow area exterior. This is a magic tilt. It is apparently custom fitted for this hull. Some of the things I'm going to point out right away I don't like is that bow roller, how far down it lies. It makes it extremely difficult to launch this boat from its trailer as well as load this boat from its trailer. You'll see this bow eye right here tends to snag on that roller when you launch it. Kind of creates a problem. I've been to a couple different ramps and it's not the ramp that does it. And when launching or loading the boat, this same eye seems to ride below that roller no matter where you back this trailer down. You actually have to winch that eye up over that roller, and it can be kind of a challenge if you do it by yourself. You cannot drive this boat on this trailer. You can push it up so far, but you pretty much have to have all those bunks submerged. This boat will not drive up on that trailer. I've heard some people talk about lacing or lathering up the bunk carpet with silicone and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how that would affect the gel coat over a period of time, so I'd rather not do that. Anyway, coming down the sides, got a nice shiny gel coat, some minor graphics. I didn't opt for any color options. Apparently that's about a $500 option if you want a color stripe or something along that line. Coming into the rear of the boat on the 2014s, I believe this is new on the 2014s. They've incorporated a hook in the transom, and they've done away with the smart tabs that they used to put on them. Supposed to help in the porpoising. I personally haven't experienced really any porpoising on this boat in Tampa Bay, so she rides pretty flat. 2014 models also apparently have this little tunnel area right above the bilge hole there, drain hole. Not really sure what the purpose of that is, but that's apparently new in the 2014 models. Coming along the back, you got your typical scupper drains. 2014, I believe they incorporated these garber drains, these metal drains right here. I've noticed under heavy rains, water gets in that area of the hull. I'm not sure how it gets in there, so you have to drain the water out. Again, they're supposed to be foam-filled, sealed compartments, so again, I'm just not real certain how water's getting in there or where it's going or if there's even currently any water in there. But I believe they've included a standard swim ladder now on them. If you'll notice that little oops right there, that's where my dealer mounted my structure scan transducer and my broadband transducer for my Lowrance. It was fine at idle until you bring the boat on the plane. Looking over the back of the transom, those two transducers aren't even in the water. And they were actually below the glass, so this area right here doesn't even sit in the water. It skims on these outer ribs here. So I moved them up under there and they work perfectly there. And they're kind of out of the way. Another thing, the 140 Suzuki, I love this motor. Seems to run real well. My understanding, most of these boats, they want to put a 115 on them, whether it be a Yamaha, Suzuki, whatever. I personally didn't think the 115 was big enough. I opted to go with the 140. And I know the Suzuki 140 is pretty much a 115 that's got some modifications to it ECM wise, but allows it to run a little higher RPM. But I'm happy with the 140. Issue I had with this motor was the dealer mounted it originally all the way up, which created a problem trying to turn the vessel on a plane. The motor prop would cavitate pretty bad, and you couldn't trim this motor up really at all, which forced you to ride with the bow down. According to the dealer, that was Carolina Skiff's recommended height on this motor. I ended up moving it to the third hole from the bottom, and and it did pretty well. I think I'm going to move it down one more hole. So if you buy one of these boats, got a Suzuki motor on it, and you notice your dealer's mounted it all the way up, you need to have your dealer mount it down. It's going to be a problem. One thing I noticed about Suzuki's I really didn't care for is this cowl engine cover is pretty flimsy. If you take that cover off, it literally warps and twists and bends in your hand. I was a little surprised about that, but other than that, I like the motor. C-Star hydraulic steering was an option add-on on this boat. It's recommended that you have hydraulic steering on outboards pretty much above 150 horsepower. This is a 140. I honestly didn't really see much of a difference between cable steering and outboard and the hydraulic steering and outboard. I've got this old Wahoo over here that had an Evinrude 150 on it. Didn't really steal any different with the 150 Evinrude with traditional cable steering. So I'm a little disappointed in the hydraulic steering. Didn't perform as easy as I thought. You definitely can't turn it with one finger. You gotta pretty much grip the steering wheel with your hand. Another thing on the exterior, this gas cap doesn't really come up all the way very easy, and I'm afraid it's going to break. It's a pretty gas cap, just didn't seem like it's high quality. Again, not too many grievances with the exterior. Gel coat looks like it's a pretty decent gel coat job from Carolina. Trailer, it's a Magic Tilt trailer, basic trailer. This one happens to be a torsion axle, single trailer. When I did buy this, however, one of the trailer lights, the whole side went out. The side running lights and the rear light went out. I'm not sure why. Kind of wiggled some wires, some connections, and it came back. If you'll notice, the high-speed live well pickup does not work when this boat is on a plane at any speed. I believe it's kind of the same problem as the transducer, where that's not even coming close to being in the water when it's on a plane. So the live well stops pumping water when it's on a plane. I'm going to have to see how easy that can move down without creating too many more holes. My Suzuki motor, it's running a 1420 prop. That's dealer installed, dealer recommended. I think it's a little small. I've hit the rev limiter several times with this boat. 6,200 max RPM. So I personally think she should be running a 1422. This boat will cruise at about 26 to 28, pushing about 4 grand. Top speed 6,200 RPM, seems to be about 44 miles an hour with that 140. I think this boat should be a little bit faster. Not that I would really ever want to go that fast in a skiff, but I think a 22 would have been better suited. Alright, I think that's about it on the exterior. I'll start another video on the interior.